Hey, everybody. Welcome to the One Day Closer podcast, and I am your humble host, Jay. All right. Thank you. Glad everybody could join us today. I really appreciate it, and just thank you to everybody for the ongoing love and support and continuing to share this podcast. We are making a difference. Never doubt that. And it blows me away every time I hear more and more from people about the impact that sharing my story is having on their story. So with that, I will say thank you again. So plenty of exciting things coming up, but recently I've had some exciting things happen. So I want to talk about those briefly real quick. And the big thing for me is recently I recommitted my life to Jesus through water baptism. And as a boy that was raised Catholic back in the days in New Orleans, it was a different experience, but oh my gosh, amazing. God has been working miracles in my life in so many ways, not just with this disease, but with my heart and mind. And I truly, like I've told y'all many times before, I have felt such a strong calling to share this story, being told, that I need to do this. So I'm just following directions at that point. And I hope I'm doing a good job with it. With that, my baptism, it took place at my church here, Coastal Church in Daphne, which is a wonderful, wonderful church. And if anybody needs a church home here in this area, please come on out. You will not be sorry and you will not regret it. What a wonderful church, and I am so blessed to have found a church home like this. So that is one of the exciting things that happened. And right along with that, the other exciting thing recently is that my oldest daughter, Amber, has found out that she was pregnant, which is its own blessing, right? She already has a son who's about 8.5. And what a wonderful blessing he is. And she's been trying to get pregnant. Her and Justin have been wanting a baby. And sure enough, God blessed them, how would you say, abundantly. Because the really, really cool part is she is pregnant with twins. And you are listening to one excited pawpaw right here. So I know they feel a little overwhelmed now. But I told her it's going to be one of her greatest adventures. They just can't imagine. Shoot, who we kidding? I can't even imagine all the things that are coming up in their future. Like, wow, right? I mean, it's going to be amazing. So I wanted to share that. And that's kind of the exciting things from the recent past. But let's go ahead and look at some things for the future. So I've talked about the event coming up in Birmingham. It is the GBS Foundation International's Walk and Roll, and this is a community event to help raise funds and awareness for these just horrific, demyelinating diseases such as GBS, CIDP, and of course the one that's near and dear to my heart, which is MMN. And for those of you, I can't imagine somebody listening to this that doesn't know that, but that is the disease that I have, and I will be fighting for the rest of my life. And so this event, just wonderful, wonderful organization, and in partnership with some pharmaceutical companies to have this. This will be in Birmingham, Alabama on Saturday, September 7th. And if you are in the area, shoot, who am I kidding? If you're in the region, if you don't mind coming a few hours out, it's going to be great. If yourself or a family member, or if you know somebody that is suffering from one of these demyelinating diseases, please spread the word and have them, if they can't make it out, obviously, look up the foundation and get some information. But I mean, it's just amazing work that they do. And this event is going to be wonderful. I mean, I can't wait to get there and share my story with people, but also have them share their stories. And then it's really about building a sense of community. So again, Saturday, September 7th in Birmingham, this is going to be at Homewood Central Park in Homewood, Alabama. It's just a suburb right there of Birmingham, if you're not familiar with the area. I will put out a plea, though. What good is a plug without a shameless plea for donations? Of course, you can go online to the Walk and Roll page for that event and make a donation. But what we have in needs, everything's pretty much covered as far as what we need to put on the event. But if anybody in the Birmingham area has a business or knows somebody has a business that could help us with a few items, what we're in need of now at this point is somebody to donate water, drinks, sodas, coffee, ice and ice chests for all of that good stuff, breakfast type snack bars or anything like that, or donuts or bagels, just things like that we can have in the morning. That is the last. Everything else is falling into place. So again, if you can help with any of those items, feel free to contact me, fastbenderj@gmail.com. I will be more than happy to take those donations and make arrangements. And again, if you're in the area or even in the region, please come on out. It's just going to be a wonderful, wonderful day of community and educating and spreading the word that, hey, not only do these horrific diseases exist, but that they can be managed, and they can, we as patients, and I say we because I'm definitely one, right? But as patients, we can also still have a life. It's not a death sentence. We don't have to take that laying down. We can fight these diseases, and this event will help raise funds for that. So, the other big thing, God, seems like so much to talk about before we even get rolling on anything. But the other big thing I want to let everybody know is that, I talked about Christy is going to finally come on. I guess for those of you who may be new to the show, Christy is my wife. And she's going to come on, probably end up being, she's got so much to talk about. I don't know, who knows, may end up being 2 or 3 episodes. But she always jokes about she's going to come on and tell the real story. She says, I leave out a lot. So I'm so excited. We're getting closer and closer to that. Hopefully by the end of next month. If not, definitely by October, I'm going to have her on. So she actually may be the debut of season 3. I may wind up season 2 here shortly, here in another episode or 2, take a little break, and then bring her on board to set the record straight, and then move on, because the next phase of season 3 for me is I'm going to start having guests, and it's going to be awesome because there are some wonderful, wonderful stories to be shared. Just stories that will uplift you, give you hope, and let you know you can overcome anything. Faith, Jesus, it can all be overcome, and it's nothing, right? Like we say, with God, all things are possible. And I'm going to have some people sharing stories that will let you know we truly do have a living God. So with that, let's go ahead and we'll move a little bit. We talked, last episode, we talked about that crazy Disney trip and how much fun I had with the family and how good it was for me to get out with the wheelchair. And one other thing I forgot to talk about is also in December of, let's say again, we're talking December 21, me and Christy took a trip to Nashville to go see the Trans-Siberian Orchestra. And y'all, you know how much I love my music. So, of course, I'm in my wheelchair, and we go, and the handicap area I was sitting was on the floor. And one of the funniest things, besides for it being a wonderful concert, and if you've ever seen TSO, you know what I'm talking about. But one of the funniest things that came out of that night that I felt I had to share is I ran into Richie Faulkner, who is the guitar player of Judas Priest. And if you've listened to previous episodes, You've heard me talk about how that is, my favorite heavy metal band. And I've been blessed also. I've actually played on stage with those guys at the Whiskey A Go Go in Hollywood a few years back. But anyway, fast forward. So here we are, December 21. Christy texts me. I'm sitting off to the side in a chair, and I think she went to the ladies' room, and she texts me, and she says, "Hey, get back here by the bathrooms." And so I roll on over that way, and she meets me. She's coming out the ladies' room, and she says, "Hey, I just saw Richie go into the men's room, so he'll have to be coming back out if you want to say hey." And of course, big fan, right? And again, had a chance to spend some time and play some music with him. So sure enough, he comes out, and he does obviously remembers me. And at the time, he was actually recovering from a terrible health incident where his aorta ruptured and he almost died. So he was doing a little rehabbing himself there. And we got to talking. Of course, he couldn't believe I was in a wheelchair, and I was explaining how I ended up there. But one of the funniest things is, so I tell him, "Hey, I just saw you guys back in September, in Charlotte. And when y'all started playing," I said, "I started crying." And he was so funny. And again, I can never do the British accent. But he's like, "Hey, when you started crying, like, were we that bad?" And it's like, "Oh, of course not, but so funny. So funny." So you just never know where life's going to take you and how things go down. But and that, of course, that turned out to be a wonderful little weekend getaway for me and Christy. And at that point in our life, oh my, I can't even tell you how therapeutic that was across the board. So with that, something I wanted to talk about, not necessarily moving the story forward, but just kind of what was going on during all this time. So of course we know all the hours of rehabilitation, whether it was in hospital rehabilitation or even at the hospital, but as an outpatient. And I think back when, I couldn't move anything, right? They literally are, strapping me to oh gosh, I'm drawing a blank on how to say it, but like the weights, right? The weight bars or the machines. That's the word I'm looking for. And because I had no grip. But the reason I brought that up is because something I did develop, or I found out about there, and a gentleman who was also a quad brought it to my attention. But there's a company out there called Grizzly Fitness. And again, hey, I don't get any freebies from them. This is a free plug for them. But they make some devices and some things that assist when you work out. And so you can literally like strap your hands or your wrist to the bar or whatever it is you're working on a machine. The ones that really helped me was it had a hook. And so the device strapped around my wrist, and it had a steel hook that came out under it. And so I could hook to like a machine, and it would allow me to try to start pulling because, again, I had no hand grip or hand strength, but I was starting to develop and move a little bit with my upper arms so we could start working something out. And what a wonderful, wonderful aid for that. So if yourself or a family member, if you know somebody that's struggling through their rehabilitation and they don't have the ability to grip the weights or the machines, go online and check out what Grizzly Fitness has, because I'm telling you, there's some devices there and some things that just assisted me. Oh gosh, exponentially. I definitely credit that with some of the improvement, especially in those earlier days. Now, with that being said, though, one of the happiest days was many, many months later when I no longer needed it because I had grip strength and was able to start working out without it. But, I can't recommend that highly enough. More recently, something that just blew my mind, and I know I've told y'all it's hard to explain, but how in life, my life, every day, it just seems like still there's something new that I can do that I obviously couldn't do before because of this darn illness. So I'm happy to announce that this go around, since we've last talked, is I am able to do some jumping jacks. Wow, right? I mean, talk about bring a smile to an old man's face. It's just amazing that I've had the strength to do something like that, and it just it blows my mind. But it's so humbling to remember, where this has all come from, and I don't know where it's all going, right? But hey, we're one day closer to finding that out, like I always talk about there. With that, I want to talk about some future things. So, upcoming things in the future, I'm in the process of creating a foundation. It'll be the Live Your Spirit Foundation. And what it'll entail is I'm looking to raise funds to benefit people locally that suffer from these type of diseases. But something I learned firsthand is that expenses add up quickly. And, there's organizations like the GBS Foundation that's working on research and they're funding that. So the money I'm going to be raising through my foundation is not for research, but more practical to assist patients and their families with direct payments to them. It might be in the form of gift cards. I don't know yet. But say, for example, if somebody needs assistance getting their power bill paid or some type of utility bill or, God forbid, man, that is so bad they need food on the table. But in a more practical sense, and I can tell you firsthand, when I first got sick and things were going downhill fast, the bills that come rolling in with that would make your head spin. And I'm not going to get too deep into that because that's my own journey there. And I am blessed beyond measure with friends and family that stepped in to help support us when we could have easily went bankrupt and probably been homeless. So I want to help people who need that additional help. Maybe they don't have the family or friends that can assist, but through my foundation, that is going to be the goal. So I'm in the process of getting that put together. It'll take some time. Got the IRS filings coming up soon, so hopefully we'll be live and rolling as a legit nonprofit by early next year. And so I just wanted to share that with everybody. And you will hear more about it because I will be telling you more about it. And I'm excited. I'm excited where that's going. And just again, man, I've been so blessed and God is leading me in several directions to not only spread the word, but also to help. And I can't be thankful enough, right, for the opportunity. It just overwhelms me sometimes how that comes together. And with that brings me to something else. If you have a small group or a church group, I'm available to come speak and give my testimony and share the word of this miracle and tell my story. So if you have, again, your church or a church group, I am available. I can be reached again through email, fastbenderj@gmail.com. And please don't hesitate, because if we can, like I said, if we can inspire and help just one person through their journey, then it's all worth it, and I'm glad to help. So with that, I wanted to start closing a little message. Something else I have going on right now is I'm doing a 21-day fast. We're doing a church-wide fast, and I won't get into all the details of it, but it's definitely got me digging a little bit deeper and doing some soul searching and just trying to strengthen my relationship with Jesus. And one of the things is had me thinking about how through this whole event, this journey, in my fight with this disease, how I've had to humble myself, right? During this time, I've had to accept care when I couldn't care for myself, and I mean, that's literally somebody cleaning you, feeding you, rolling you over in bed, right? So you don't get bed sores. You name it. We can go on and just keep listening and listening. But that was so hard for me at the beginning. But I'm so fortunate because whether I wanted it to or not, it taught me. It taught me the value of being humble. And I can honestly say I am much, much better now with that. But we gotta remember too, we also have to humble ourselves before God, right? Ask for forgiveness. But also we need to be humble enough to forgive others. And my personal thoughts on that, forgiveness really isn't for the other person anyway. It's for us. It lets us let go of those things that are keeping us imprisoned by, forgiving others of those sins against us. And I mean, we just need to learn how to, give love to one another. Sometimes we have to let our pride go a little bit and truly be humble. With that, I would ask if you're listening to this, no matter what state or what country you're in today, after this show, when you listen it, go out and do just one single random act of kindness to a stranger or for a stranger. Man, we're all in this together. It's the crazy, crazy times we're living in. And that one simple act that those people can never repay you for might just be paying for somebody's meal behind you at the fast food place, or just helping somebody with a little extra change in your pocket. That person that's got their hand out at the corner. It'll do wonders, man. We can change the world like that, and we can change it for the better. So I challenge everybody. One random act of kindness today after you hear this episode. Again, ladies and gentlemen, thank you. Thank you so much. It means the world to me that y'all continue to follow me on this journey and share my testimony, because that's what this is all about. And, life is tough. Things are tough. Things unexpected come our way, right? But always have faith and believe in Jesus, our Lord and Savior. He will get you through it. That I can promise you. And remember, live your spirit.